Rhonda, tell me about what inspired you to do this workshop.
Well, initially I'd been taking rebirthing and doing the LRT and, doing a little bit of organizing. And Sandra had written the book, I Deserve Love. And that was her first book, which was affirmations for healing sexuality. And she thought that I had a lot of energy in the sexuality area and it would be good for me to write the book. So she suggested that I do it. And in order to do the book, Jeff and I, who were just getting together, this was probably 85, 86, 1985, 86, we created a workshop, an evening workshop that we called Lightening Up on Sex to kind of start the ball rolling to see, what people, what they were doing. And since I had a degree in psychology of early childhood, I thought, to focus on, and with the rebirthing, to focus on maybe the first 5 years of our life, to look at our conditioning around sexuality. Yeah. So we kind of started creating a workshop around conception, womb and birth, and early childhood. So we kind of did it. The evenings we had people, I lived in LA, and we'd have people from San Diego and Orange County and Santa Barbara. They would come from all over to do it. And
yeah, because you traveled internationally and taught internationally.
Yeah, that was the first two that we did for a weekend. So basically, I was doing work with Don McFarlane, who did Body Harmony, and he had a big group in Sweden. And then I had an assistant from when I did LRTs in London who wanted to organize it in England. So we went to get there. And we did one in London and one in Sweden. And those were our first weekends. And what we did is we, experimented and did what we'd been doing in our 4-week or 6-week course. And I wrote everything down, like how conception affected their sexuality, how the womb affected sexuality, how birth affected sexuality. Yeah. And that's really how the book came about, was, doing the seminars and interviewing people and doing processes.
And how has it helped your students and people that have attended?
Well, I think the main thing is that a lot of people don't feel innocent around their sexuality. They have a lot of guilt. And I know for me, the other reason I wanted to do it, it was kind of seeing how my birth script affected even public speaking. And to me, my marriage ended around sexuality, my first marriage, and I really had a lot of issues in that area. And I realized it had a lot to do with being a disappointment as a woman. And that was my personal lie and my birth thought. So I think what happened is, and I think, people who have done testimonials said that was the biggest thing they saw, how they were being run by these birth script thoughts, conception, womb and birth, being wanted, being unwanted, being the wrong sex, not being worthy. So I think just, noticing, getting aware of it, and then, breathing it out of your body. People had a lot of breakthroughs, with those discoveries.
So in the workshop, you'll be doing some processes and breath work.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the processes.
Yeah, well, the processes are written one-to-one and, going around the circle.
Yeah.
A lot of it is about being willing to tell the total truth about your sexuality. People, don't think they can talk about sex. So getting them to open up and trust that it's safe.
And tell the truth faster.
Yes. And actually, that was the big thing that people loved, was that they saw that they weren't alone. That everybody seemed to have similar issues, so they were connected in that way.
People might be a bit freaked out about divulging their innermost, but it really helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not about so much. It is sometimes looking at your past sexual experiences, in order to kind of unravel your history or your unconscious birth script. But you also don't have to say anything you don't want to.
Yeah.
And what people found, it was really freeing to share and talk about it. And we had a lot of laughs. That's why we called it Lightening Up on Sex, because
fantastic. I love
it was about kind of laughing at some of the silly things that we got into, and kind of making it lighter, not such a heavy issue for people.
The workshop is coming up in August. What dates?
August 15, 16, and 17.
Fantastic. And if anybody wants to sign up for it, contact Rhonda if you're in the US. Your email address is?
Rhonda Levand at
yahoo.com. And your cell phone number?
505-410-8789.
Great. And if you're in Europe, contact Kira and info@breathtalks.com. UK number 07747 614 369. Hope you can join us. This is a completely liberating and fun workshop.